So good morning everybody, and once again welcome back in today's class. We are on the day number 26 and we were discussing on the CAB workbench. So on the last call on the Friday session, we discussed that how I can create a CAB, how I can create a not CAB, how I can create a CAB definition. Today we are going to be do that how that CAB definition or CAB meeting has been used in the CAB workbench. So I'll come here and these are the CAB definitions. This is what we created. And under that we have a CAB meeting, right? I'll come here in the CAB meeting and we can pick up this one, 13th of July. Even though it will not start now, it's still in the pending state. And if you go here in the CAB workbench, basically CAB workbench is like your service portal. Okay, it is not like your native view, it is like a service portal where all these invitees will log in and able to see the changes on which they are assigned. So now if I come here, I can see 13th, this one. This is still on the, if I click on this, you can see it is open and I can start the meeting. Generally it should not be the case. Actually I should not able to start it. Okay, now everybody will log in into the CAB workbench like this, including the CAB manager as well. Okay, few things let's understand. If I log in as a CAB manager, because I log in as sysadmin, I can see the start meeting. If you log in as a delegate, it will say host meeting, because you're opening on someone's behalf, not yourself. So you can try this option at your place. Impersonate with Fred Ludi and then open the CAB workbench. You will see other option. Okay, now on this particular part, let's take one or two case only to discuss this thing. Okay, this is the total timer. If I click on the start meeting, so this is the total time, that how much time you take to discuss on all the changes. That is number one part. Okay, this box is your changes and how it's becoming 006. If you come and you can see here 006, it is coming from there. A quick summary, and this thing schedule 5 minutes, from where it is becoming, it is coming from this particular time. This is the purpose of this particular stuff. So now up to 3 or 3.5 minutes, it will be red. Sorry, it will be green. After that, it will become red. Okay, you can see the next one. If you want to see the pending, all changes, my agenda, approved, complete, anything you want to do, you can do a filter out. On the right side, this part is a form, is a place, or is the content which is related to this particular change you are going to be discussed. What is change number, what is model, all the things. If you want to see on the form level, then you can click on the show form. Sorry, this is a show form only. If you want to see the calendar level, you can click on this show calendar, that where in the calendar I can see where is my change. Now click here. If you want to see planning tab, okay, what is we have mentioned the planning? This thing you can see, because this change don't have anything, so it's showing as a blank. Schedule, when it is going on the production, or all the things will be there. Now the question comes, Atul, how I can approve this change? That is the biggest part, how I can approve this change. Okay, number one, let's see this change in the schedule state. It means you cannot approve it. There's no approval attached to it. Okay, so I am not approving this change. Okay, so I'll click on the next because I want to show you a little working of this. I should click on the next. Boss, I'm not happy with this change. I'm not going to this thing. Let's say this one 992 and see it is in the authorized state. Okay. And one more thing, you can see it is a meeting notes. If you want to take some manually or automatically, how this will be coming? Because we say this thing. Auto add decision. So decision has been added already. That on the previous change, no decision has been taken. Now let's say this change. And how many people are attending? You can see from here that these many people are attending. Only sysadmin. If I impersonate with ITIL user or David Liu or Christian Mitchell or cab approver or Bo, I can see number of attendees here. ठीक है, तो this is the one thing that is good. Now this change in the authorize.
Sorry, sorry, I was interrupted by internet connection. Could you go back to the previous step? First of all, you mentioned that the change cannot be approved. Why? From the beginning, when we start to show us.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So, yes. Sorry.
Okay. Let me give a quick summary.
Yes, please.
So this is the cab workbench which we open, and I open the first change which was in the scheduled state. Yes. So if a change in the scheduled state, you cannot approve it, right?
Okay.
So I move to the next. When I go to the next one, I can see this thing, that this in the authorized. It means it is waiting for someone approval. Correct?
Yes,
right?
Correct.
I go down, I see all the information. Now what I will do? What I will do as a cab manager, I can click on this pencil icon and see the complete change form here. Okay, and I can see that whose approval is pending. It is pending for these cab approvals group. Now what I will do, I'll log in with Christian Mitchell. Let impersonate with this and see that how a approver can see. Otherwise, if I go here or approval need to be go here, then what is the purpose of the CAP workbench? There must be some option for the approver on the CAP workbench only. So now let's impersonate with Christian Mitchell. Think that he's sitting somewhere in the other place of the world and he's open this CAP workbench. He will do also same thing. He will go to the CAP workbench, he'll open the meeting, and now I'll just refresh this page so that impersonation can change to picture. Now, did you see this thing? You get the button here. As the approver, if you are approver of a change, you will get this option. And did you notice that it's become amber now? After 3, after 2, it's become amber. After 4, it become red. So now what I have to do as an approver, either I can approve, either I can reject. So I click on the approve. When you're approving, you can say happy to and see it become red now because it's moved to the.
Why so it becomes red? What it becomes
because
red?
it's giving an indication that you are running short of time. Take a quick action. This is what the fundamental of this putting up per agenda. Now I log in here as a Christian Mitchell. So I cannot move to the next change because I don't have a cab manager approval or cab manager rights. Now, if you see here, 2 attendees are there, attending and attending. Now I'll go back and log in as a system admin so that I can move to the next chain now. See, it's running, still running. And now I reload my page. And now I can see the next button. This one. Now the same logic apply here. Let's say demote is one that I don't want to be discussed immediately. You can go to the downstairs or the down level, demote it. Atul, can we promote it? Yes, I want to discuss this change on the priority. Let's promote it. So now it is there now, but it is already approved. Let's say I promote this. So we can discuss this change, or I click on the next. The agenda item has not approved. Do you want to be continue? Yes, I said okay. I want to be proceed further. And when the meeting got end, or you done with the changes, you can click on the end meeting. You want to exit? I said yes. And now if you come here and go to your CAB meetings and open this 13th one. Okay, see, it's showing pending. I want to go for all. Click on the all, this one. Now it become completed. See, it become completed. Now if you come here, you can see the meeting notes that what discussed in the meeting. See, you want to share the notes, click on the share notes. The notes has been sent to all the attendees of these. And see, you can see who attended. Attending and attending. These two guys attending the meeting. And what happened to my agenda? So you can see here, no decision, no decision, no decision, and only one has been approved. This has been approved. For the rest, there is no decision has been taken. Earlier, all the things need to be done in the manual part, in the Excel sheet somewhere. But now it is all automated. This is what the CAB Workbench says here. Small concept, but very powerful, very powerful. So earlier what happened when I was a change manager, I download the agenda, put in the Excel sheet, send an email to everybody and all the things. After the meeting get over, note down the decisions, make a sheet, send the email and done. Now nothing, everything got captured automatically here. See, if you want, you can edit manually as well. Need a further discussion. Or you can add more as well and share the notes. Then invite, this has been said. And you still have that what happened to the previous change. Boss, there's no decision has been done. Reason can be XYZ. Reason can be XYZ. No time, not proper information, all the things you can mention. Clear on the CAB Workbench?
Yes, clear.
Good. Now let's move to the next part of the change. Let's say I open a change here. Okay. So we discussed almost a lot of things in the change. Planning, scheduling, workflow, approval, model, maintenance window, blackout window, and CAB Workbench as well. Now, one thing which is important in change is called the task. Okay, let me open this change. Task. And we call this as a change task. In the short, these are called as a C task. Not SC task. SC task stand for the catalog task. C task stand for the change task. P task stand for the problem task. Okay, so these are the different naming convention. Now, Because it is a change. If I say, okay, Farah, you are moving from one flat to the another flat in some other city. Can you do everything by yourself? Atul, no. I need a mover and packer.
No.
I need someone who can give me food on that particular day because my kitchen will not set up completely. I need someone who can set up my Wi-Fi. I need someone who can set up or do unpacking for me. I need someone who can assemble my furniture and all the things. But change is one. Only you are moving. Those guys are not moving. So what we'll do? We create the different tasks and assign to them. That this is your task, this is your task, this is your task, this is your task. If the mover packer will not come on time, risk will be, it will be risky for you because you are not able to reach to the place on time. If mover packer come on time, but his or her that vehicle is not up to the mark, which can take all the luggage, again it's a problem. But change is started. You already given notice to your landlord, and you're moving out. The day also arrive. So what we do that I cannot do everything. So what I will do, I will create the task for the different teams. And if you notice here in this task, in this change, two tasks get generated. What ServiceNow says that these tasks get generated from the subflow called change implementation. As soon as your change move to the implementation state, these two tasks get generated automatically. It's a fundamental to remember it. Another question, can I create more tasks? Yes, you can create more tasks from the workflow as well and manually as well. But system generated, only these two tasks will be there. One is for the implementation and one is for the testing. Implementation means that who is going to deploy this change? Who is going to be implement this change? And post testing means that who is going to be tested once the deployment has been completed. Okay. Another important point, either you're using an emergency change, either you're using a standard change, either you're using a normal change. Only these two tasks get generated, not any extra task.
Always two tasks
Yes.
generated?
Yes.
Okay.
With the help of the flows or the workflows.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see Atul, now you take example of flat movement. I have 5 people who are working on the 5 different tasks. Then you can go here and you can create a task. In this, the important point to be understand is that number one, every task has a type. Out of the box on the baseline 4 type: planning, implementation, testing, and review. Planning task date can be before the change plan start date as well, because you're doing a planning. I give a notice to my landlord that I'm moving out from this flat on August 30th. But I will start the movement of planning from now itself. It means I can create this task. So now what is the dates of my task? Let's see here. 7 to 15. Okay. So can I put before that 6? And even I can close before as well to 8. Yes. It is not giving me any error. It means I can do this part.
Mm-hmm. If needed, so if needed, but out of the
Yes.
box we have mainly two tasks, and if needed we can create one more.
Yes, and you see any number of tasks. Now, if I change the type for implementation, I must get an error. If service not give out of the box error, see, it is giving an error that because it is the implementation. How you can move in the flat before your commitment dates has been started. So you cannot do this part. Also notice one more thing. If I change it to the planning, okay, I don't have any closure code. But if I change it to other than planning or anything like this, let's say testing, I have a closure note as well. That what happened to the task? Wi-Fi is done, successful, be successful. Unloading or unpacking of the luggage or the stuff has been done with issues. Something has been break in between. This, or if let's say example, if I do like this, let me reload this one, this change, this form, sorry. Okay. And let me say I'm creating an implementation task. CI, you can put this start date today because it's 15th, right? 7 to 15th. LNG demo. Okay, these are not added by me. Maybe I'm doing some R&D, so it's for that purpose. Okay. LNG, and let me assign to anybody there. Nobody there. Let's not do this thing. Let's assign to the change team. Change management and change manager. Now save it. You started your change. Task is open. Move to the in progress. This one. Now implementation has been done. The tasks need to be closed. So click on the close task. And then it become mandatory. What happened to the task? Task is unsuccessful. Reason took a lot of time and item. Let's say I'm doing this thing and say task is closed. Now let's go to the change. Let's say all relevant or all required changes task has been done. Now if I move to my change to the next state, what will happen with these two open task? Click on the review. Let me show you. These got cancelled automatically. If a task has been generated via workflow and did not worked upon, then it got cancelled. Again, it is out of the box, so that is the reason it is be like that. You have a question, Atul, then what is the purpose of the task? I don't want that my customer should be able to move to the next state without closing the task. Then you can put the validation that it should be manually closed or cancelled. Okay, now review has been done. Okay, and I'll click on the close. When I click on the close, it is asking the closure information. And this closure information is about the change, not the task. That what about overall change? See, Farah moved to a new house. Means overall change has been done. Different tasks was there, some was good, some bad, some tasks were closed successfully, some has issues, some was not done successfully. So overall, it was done with issues. And I click on the save. My change closed. Task is a very vital player in the change management. A very vital player. I saw a changes where more than 10 tasks, 20 tasks has been generated for the different teams. Server reboot is one, server starting is one, server deployment is one, testing is one, test 1, test 2, test 3 is one. So because this is what you can understand, this is what you can see that, okay, how the other teams are performing. Task can be sequential, task can be parallel as well. Until unless I will not move to the new house, I don't want that Wi-Fi should be set up. That is a sequential. No. You told to that vendor, boss, I will be coming in the morning. You also come on the same time. That is a parallel task. Okay. Now, another important topic is called the PIR, post implementation review. See, if you notice this, there's a no task which say post implementation review. State is there, I agree. State was there, review state was there. For moving to the new house, the things were unloaded completely and landlord came. Sorry, I cannot give this flat to you guys. I have given commitment to someone else yesterday. Please take it out. You have a 1 day to vacate this house and move out. Now, in this case, what will happen? In this case, you will do the PIR. That why this thing happened, why I got failed. Out of the box functionality in the baseline system, there is no task get generated in this case. Okay.
So if there is no task generated for the review, how can we?
Give me a minute. I'm coming to that part.
Okay.
If your change failed, okay, then no task will be generated with the name of the PIR if it is a type normal. Because for the normal, let's say in a week you are deploying 40 changes in the production and all are the normal changes. Out of 45, a 2 get failed. If you put this out of the box, then you have to be manually close this 40 task, PIR task, right? So ServiceNow says that if your change get failed, better you go here and create a new task for the post implementation review. But there's a concept. If I show you, which I want to discuss now with you guys, let's say create new, and I want to create an emergency change. Okay. In the emergency change, there's a concept called the unauthorized. This is very debatable point, because for every customer, for every company, the definition is a little different. In the ITL world, unauthorized means that Farah deployed a change. Let's say, okay, what is the meaning of unauthorized? Farah moving out from the current house without giving a notice to the landlord. It is the unauthorized. It is a unauthorized means someone deployed the change in the production environment without telling to anybody, including change manager, including business, including their team members. And it happens a lot of time. This is very genuine, very common practice. Now Farah says, Atul, then how you will know, or how I will know, or how they will know? Practically, until unless something goes wrong in the production, you will not able to know that someone deploys some changes. Atul, we have expert guys in our team. They deploy the changes which never fail. What is the other way? The other way that what ServiceNow defined is that unauthorized change work with the discovery. ServiceNow discovery, which run on the CI and check that is any changes has been happened on the CI. I'm not going in the deep dive because this is totally different concept, but overall we will discuss this thing. So that ServiceNow discovery run and see that is anything happened on the CI. Maybe a new change number has been added to that CI. If it found, this box become automatically true. It is not that much easy to implement in the practical life. It required a lot of if and but. So what we do, if my customer says, do we have unauthorized change? I said, yes. If you want, you can use it like manually part. Because if you want as a completely system driven, then you need to be activate ServiceNow discovery and all the things need to be done. Now what will happen? Let's say I'm using this. Okay. I'm putting LNG test fail. Copy. Schedule. Now in the unauthorized change, it can be backdated as well because change is already deployed. It's not that in the future you're going to be do unauthorized, and it is emergency. Emergency change can be retrospective as well. So now you can see. If the same thing you do for the normal change, you will get error. Now I click on the save and click on the request approval. It is in the authorized state. Go and approve. I'm raising this emergency change via native view. If you raise this emergency change via model, the process will be a little different. The steps will be a little different. Try that part. And now you can see in the review state. No implementation because implementation all done. And the task has been generated. This is what the PIR task do.
As I can, as I can understand that the PIR task generated, if we mention unauthorized change.
Yes.
Okay.
Only for unauthorized, because why this thing happened? Why someone deploy the change without telling anybody? I want to understand that part.
Okay.
And let's see, type is still review.
Okay.
Right? Because you want to need the root cause that why it has happened. The landlord, the police want to know that why you leaving the house without giving the notice. Is someone torturing you if you don't have money for the paying the rent, or if you are not happy with this, the flat was very suffocating or something? What was the reason?
But is it feasible at all? I mean, change could be done without
Yes.
informing people.
Yes. I'm saying it is very practical situation in the industry.
Okay.
And if, because when I was the change manager, if in my report there's a failed changes, I can still justify. But if it's an unauthorized change, I cannot able to justify. The KPI say it should be 0%. If let's say a kid go in the school, okay, he fight with someone, is still manageable, right? But if he steals something from someone without telling or without in his or her notice, it is a crime. Being a parent, it's my responsibility that my child should not do anything bad activities. Fighting is one thing that kids get fight, but if he steals something, if you bring something without telling the other person that I'm taking this is unauthorized. This is not acceptable. So it practically happened. Like server team say, network team say, oh, I want to just open up for firewall. Why I should raise the change? It will go and all the things done. And sometimes it done by mistake. I log in a server which is a dev server. I thought it is a product. I log in a server. This is a production server, but I thought it is a dev. I deploy the change in that only. Even though I was testing. Now tell me it is authorized or unauthorized. It is still unauthorized. And I want to know the root cause, that why it happened. Then you have to go by this way.
Okay, so and the option unauthorized should be checked, or
yes. If you're doing manually, it should be checked. Yeah. Otherwise, if you want to do a system driven, then you have to be set up the complete service now discovery.
Even the person who did not check this option system could discover that.
Unauthorized change come into the picture when deployment has been done. I am recording it for my reference now in the system. See, simple same thing. Someone did the crime. Even though that crime is small or big, but still the police officer keeping in the record, right?
Yeah.
This is what is an unauthorized change. So now this change has nothing to be do in the system, nothing to be do in the deployment. This change is only for the recording purpose. That yes, in my record, there is one change which has been unauthorized. The KPI is 0%. In a month, no unauthorized change should be there. Failed changes still I can manage 1%, 2% I can still manage, but unauthorized it's not recommended one. We have a case where one user deploy a change without telling anybody. It become unauthorized. It come to my notice, and that person was banned to deploy a change for the next 2 weeks. This is what the action we have taken. Because you have to be rectified that. And how we come to know? He says that I think I'm deploying a change. I was doing a testing in the dev, but it was production environment. So I deploy that change in the production. Then what is the corrective action? We remove everybody access, only give the 2 or 3 people access. That once they log in, and if you want to do the production deployment, every window need to be closed. Only one window should be open, that you are deploying a change. This is what you are able to see, right? It happens. Sometime by mistake, we move the update set from dev to production directly instead of dev to test. So these things people use, the developer use this thing, or they use different color on the top to identify that it is dev, it's a test, or it's a production. Otherwise, it will become unauthorized change. Clear?
Yes. Okay.
Now let's come to the reporting and dashboard. So like we have an incident, we have a change, we have a problem and incident. It's the same thing, we have a change as well. And this is what ServiceNow gave me in the baseline. Change overview dashboard. Nothing else. These are the just reports which we bring on the dashboard. Single tab, emergency changes, critical changes, overdue changes, awaiting approval, on hold, group by. And what are the metrics available? Remember the metrics or forget? Metrics definition. Type. Only 2 metrics has been given. One, to measure the change approval, that from approve to authorize, how much time it take. Authorize to schedule, how much time it will take. And then change type duration, total. It is on the type level. Like if I open this, it is a field duration. What they're saying, on the type, this one. How much time a change take to complete as per the type, like normal started on the 7th, it is ending on the 13th. How much time it will take? Because these things are important metrics. These are the important metrics to understand that why these changes are taking so much time to deploy, to start, to execute, to plan, and how we can improve this. So these two metrics has been given by ServiceNow in the out of the box. This is for the approval. See, approval level, and what they're saying, you can see here. From request to approve. Not yet requested, not yet from. This is for 20. Request to approved. This much time it will take to understand. Now the thing is that in this, these are the only normal timings are given. If you want to do a more in the change reporting, you can use the performance analytics plugin, PA plugin, and then you can do a lot more. I'll see if I have something in my system now. Like a metrics, we have a database view as well. And let's say what we have on the change. These 5 metrics are given by ServiceNow. Join change metric instance, getting a view to report on the things like closed by category. I want to see that how many changes get closed. This is for change and change SLA, like incident SLA. This is for the task level. This is for the task SLA level. And this is for the how much time I work on that particular changes, which are having a incident link. This is important one. Why I'm telling, there's nothing to be worried that how this has been configured. From the examination perspective, you need to understand that how many have given here. What is the name of these 5? And metric, sorry, database view, which I say earlier, that database view is used where you want to get a report on the 2 tables in a one go. This is what this is. You can integrate your change management with any other tool as well. Like third-party tool, any third-party tool, you can do it. Okay. What next has been done? Let me see here. Anotha is done. This done. R approval out of the box. See, anything is left here or everything has been done? Quick recap.
Almost done. Almost seen.
Almost done.
Yes.
Change flow, workflow done, properties done, change tabs we done, dashboards metrics is done. Okay, this one, change success. Okay, actually this is not that much important, but again, from examination perspective, I can say this is important. Okay. Let's see, do I have that plugin installed? In success, no. So what I will do, plugins. See, the thing is that earlier when this industry started, the company started using change management. The count of change is very low. But now the business is growing so drastically and everybody want a good hold on their change management, because if a change get failed, wastage of efforts, wastage of time, wastage of, and can create a bad user experience and create an incident as well. So now everybody say that I want to make sure my change should not get failed. But again, I put the same line here. Taking the life insurance doesn't mean that you will not die. Activating these plugins doesn't mean that change will not get failed, but it will give you a confidence. Yes, you are on the right track and your change will be 100% successful. So ServiceNow launched two or three new modules that is called the change success and change velocity. Change success, this one. This is a plugin which help this one change success score, which read your previous data and help you to understand that what is the likely future success of these type of changes. Tough to be understand, tough to be implement, because that is not, it's not that much easy. A lot of, see, by seeing last 2 years or 3 years monsoon, I can predict that what is going to be happening this year. Everybody say, you know that earlier we have a 4 months winter, now a 3 months winter. Why? Because we are checking the previous data and doing the future prediction. Earlier there was no global warming, but there is a global warming now. The same thing apply here. This particular plugin help you to understand that what is the future success. See, it says it's not 100% likelihood of future success. Let me open this.
What is the importance, the purpose of change success score? To show us the likelihood of success of change?
Let's say in your company, you are deploying 500 changes every week. Okay. Now, the day you started your company, the count was 5 or 10 in a week. You can easily evaluate, you can easily see, you can easily predict. Now your count has been increased to 500 every week. And out of 500, 5 or 10 changes get failed every time. Not a big count, but still it's a count, which is a problematic statement. Because now you have to find out, you need someone who will identify why it happened, whose mistake, how to rectify. Unnecessary action will be there. Now company says, boss, I'm not in that situation. I need something solid which help me to understand that what will happen in the future, likelihood. So this particular stuff help you change success. And it is using the performance analytics. It is using the data. And for the PA, if I'm not wrong, it's a 30,000 record must exist in the system to understand. It's a PA or PI. Predictive intelligence or performance. I'm not sure that, but a good data is required, which help you to tell you that okay, you deploy these type of changes earlier as well, and this was a success rate, and in the future it can be the success rate for you. There is a likelihood of the future
the
and
probability, let's say.
Correct. If you think that previously these type of changes get failed, you will not. You will take precaution now. Let's say in your friend circle, you attended 3 or 4 marriages and all the marriages has been arranged by the same vendor. And in the all marriages, you have some issues. Now you will not prefer, if you prefer that vendor for your own marriage, you put some extra precautions, right? Because it's a likelihood you want to be secure yourself. So if I go back here, so this plugin helped me to understand that part. Okay, so what I will do, I'll click on the install so that it should get installed and I can show you something which I can be able to show you here. Even though to use this particular module 100%, I need performance analytics license. I need a PA completely so that it evaluate my data and can help me. It cannot be done on the 5 or 10 changes. It required a big data, 1,000, 2,000 changes to predict, to do probability. So by my experience now, I have experience by training things I have experience that Monday is the day when less people will join the call, or if people join, they will join late, not on the time. This is my probability. And how many time I get success? Out of 100, I got 70% success always. Monday is the most common day where people did not join the call on time. This is what I can say. And how I will come to know? Not completing one batch. I come to know by completing 11, 12 batches now. So now if I come here and reload my page, and I'll search for the success. Change approval. Okay, what happened to this one? Okay, now it's installed. Let me reload my page. Let's check here. Something is missing. It should be there something. Change success or change success score. Let me see if I have something. No. Reload this. Or maybe in the dashboards I can see. Let me go in the dashboard. No. Let me click on the dashboards. Click on the all. Search for the change. This one. Change success score. Change model success is different. Change success is different. This is what we got now by installing that plugin. And here you can see the percentage. Why percentage? Because calculation of this percentage can be done in the performance analytics PA part, not in the standard one. Metrics and database view cannot give you the percentage easily. But this is what can do. So I want to see assignment group. I say how many changes has been done by the change group. Let's say apply. These are called the interactive filters. This dashboard in this application, but global is the current application. Maybe I have to be change it. If I want to make a change, I have to be change the scoping as well. But now you can see like this. You have to be create the breakdowns that how I can evaluate. Let's say I want to go for the breakdown. Nothing is there. Scorecard, nothing is there. Records. But this is a very powerful thing given by ServiceNow. It uses a lot of things in the background. Machine learning little bit, predictive intelligence, performance analytics completely. Then it brings a detail for you and help you here. Let me see if I can go to change management success. Let's see if his data get loaded or not, or maybe some jobs were not running. I have to be run that jobs. No, there's nothing. Let's say assignment group, anything to assign them. No, the reason can be the data is very less to calculate. So now if you open, you can go to the analytics hub where you can see that how this has been built up. See, to view more than 180 this, so you must be licensed of this. I don't have a license, so it is not showing to me.
Okay.
Okay, there's a one more plugin available that is called the change velocity. DevOps, this one, DevOps change velocity.
To say what velocity change?
Yeah, this is help you to understand that how many time or how your change get deployed to understand that part. Again, change velocity and change success is very new in ServiceNow. And it is not that much quickly easy to learn and implement, because before I implement change success or change velocity, I have to understand that what is the meaning of the DevOps, how DevOps is working in change ServiceNow, and how this is related to the ServiceNow. So this is mainly for the deployment perspective we use it. If I just install it, it will get installed, but you cannot use it immediately because you have to build a complete pipeline and then it will work for you. Telling you because this is one or two slides which I got in my examination, which I got in my training, not examination, but in my training, but it is important. Like this. Now let's do a quick recap. Then we close for the change part. So we started the journey of the change management approximately last week Friday, where we discussed that what is change, what is release, type of changes, normal, standard, and emergency. And then we see the change state flow, approval, on hold. If you put, you cannot proceed further. We see the data structure and we see the rules. Role is very specific. Nobody can change or update the model once change has been raised. Nobody can create the standard change templates. Change can be raised via end user. Let's call the standard changes, the pre-approved changes with the help of the SRM. Change has relationship with the incident problem, which is caused by or resolved by. Change has a relationship with the release, which we're going to start tomorrow. Change has a relationship. I'm putting you on the mute for it's little disturbing in the background. Okay, and we have a update the CMDB or CI. Multiple roles available: change manager, requester, approver, CAP, and change implementer. Everybody has its own specific role. Then we discuss about the change life cycle. Like for emergency, what is the life cycle? This is for emergency, new, authorized, schedule, implement. This is for the standard, new, schedule, implement, and this is for the normal one. We see that how a change model can be used, fit for purpose, fit for use. We see how a change can be raised via interceptor or by the model pages. We see that how this particular things has been related. So now one thing which has been left, let me go here and open a change. Click here. And let's say this one. This one. Propose a change model, which we see earlier, and copy change. Again, go to the change properties and see that what are getting copied. It is from the change properties only. So you can, if you can go here, change properties, and you can see here, list of attribute get copied, these things, which we already discussed. Okay. So this thing we discussed, then we come here, we discuss about the life cycle, creation in the scope, which has the four things: create, define, schedule, change task, and assign. If you want, you can create the task in the new state itself. Someone says, no, I want the implement. Someone says, no, I want the new state. So that is totally business decision. But in the out of the box, change task get created in the implementation state only. Then we go for the approval. In the approval, we see the assess approval, where we see that how the approval definition work, approval policy work. Then we see the change task, and finally we see the PIR and the closing part. We understand about the maintenance window where the change deployments are allowed, blackout window where the change deployments are not allowed, change freeze is there. Then we see here on the risk assessment, two ways. You can do the risk conditions, which is coming in the baseline system. You can install the plugin that is called the risk assessment, and then together they can help you to understand. Today we discuss about the CAB workbench, that how a CAB definition can be raised, how the meetings can be arranged, how the agenda can be done, and how I as a CAB manager or I as a approver can work in the CAB. CAB and ECAB, which we saw that CAB and ECAB difference is only for the word E, but CAB is used for the normal change and ECAB is used for the emergency change. We discussed about the out of the box this thing. task here. We discuss about the tabs which is given in the bottom like this. If I come back, oops, there. We have multiple tabs: affected CI, impacted services, approvers. You can see change task. You can see problem, incident fixed by change, incident caused by change. These things we can do here. Then unauthorized, which we discussed just now, specifically red because it is manually you can use, but if you want to use automate, you have to do the ServiceNow discovery. Change approval policies, 7 Rs, and predefined changes like models, which we have a predefined normal, emergency are the predefined one there. And then we discuss about the change flows and workflows on Friday, which we discussed dashboard specifically, not much, but change success and velocity I showed you. Then we see the change task type. 4 types are available: implementation, planning, review, and what I can say, testing. Then we see the properties that when you get change copy, that how it's work, change tabs, conflict assistant, and finally we discuss about the dashboard metrics and the reporting part. So overall, 8 days we spent on the change now. From my side, what I understand, my understanding says, but my knowledge says I given to you guys. Now strongly I recommend create a change, see these tabs, see the approval, see the outages, see the risk assessment, and do little bit practice. Until unless you will not do the practice, it is tough for you to remember the change for a long time. Now put any question and doubt from your side. Tejas and Farah, any doubt?
No question for the moment, but practicing could lead to have questions later.
Yes.
Yeah.
In case if I remember some more concepts about the change, we can pick up in between as well. Sometimes what happens is some examples are given and I thought I missed out or I skip it. So I'll come back on that part.
Okay.
But formally today change management concept is completed here. Okay.
Okay, great.
Chale, let's check a quick attendance.